What's up, everyone? Today's going to be an exciting day. We're going to be learning about a game called Escape From Tarkov.
I heard about this game. It's really popular right now. Isn't it new?
No, it actually came out in August of 2016.
Wow, that's really old. Is it all 2D and pixelated?
Pixelated? What? That's barely 3 years old. Ugh. Well, that's a perfect place to start then. Escape from Tarkov is a hardcore and realistic online first-person action RPG simulator with MMO features and a story-driven walkthrough. You've got looting, PvP action, PvE action, questing, hideout building, all in a first-person simulation-style combat environment.
What? You mean I can't sprint around the map and just go balls to the
Well,
wall?
no, you won't be able to do that. Soon, there will be an update that will make the weight of the items you have impact the way your character moves and ADSs. So, it's a realistic combat game, but I promise you, you will find a bunch of things about this game that you will love. So, you won't mind slowing down in the playstyle because the reward in this game is worth it. The raids in this game can get so intense.
What's a raid?
Well, I'm going to go over all that, but let's start with turning the game on. Alright, Escape from Tarkov. Loading in. I'm so pumped for this game. Let's do it. Alright, Escape from Tarkov. Scav. PMC. Where's the tutorial? No? No? Maybe it's in here. And it doesn't look like it. Where the hell is the tutorial? This is exactly how I felt when I started the game up. So, I'll explain some of this to you. This over here to your right is your stash. This is all of the items you have in game and what you can bring into a raid, sell, or trade for other items. Nothing in the stash will move unless you do so yourself. Bringing anything from here into a raid and not successfully completing said raid will result in a loss of everything on your character in that raid. Your stash will not be this big unless you have the EOD version of the game, but you can upgrade it later on.
So, how do we start?
Well, in Tarkov, you can play as either a scav or a PMC. Scavs are normally the computer-controlled players on the map that move like bots and don't normally have good loot. Normally very average loot. When you play as a scav, you start with a gun and some loot, which you will keep if you're able to make it out of the map by making it to an extract. If you die, you get nothing. But it doesn't really matter because it wasn't yours to begin with. So, it's really all reward, no loss. Scav runs are where you go to scrounge up all that extra loot that people left to make money, or you can go hunt some PMCs and take all theirs.
A PMC?
Well, that is your main character. This is who you play as when you want to complete in-game tasks, and when you want to bring your own loot into a raid. When you first start, your PMC will be empty, and if you go into a raid, this is what you will go in with. So before every raid, you need to make sure he is outfitted with the necessary gear, which we'll go over. But while we're here, let me talk to you about these numbers on the bottom left. This is your health, hydration, and energy. Obviously, you want to have max health before going into a raid, so if that's less than max, heal yourself with the items that I will go over. If your next number, hydration, is low, you need to consume a water bottle, milk, or energy drink, anything that will give your character hydration. If stamina is low, you need to use an MRE, some humpback, or a Tashanka, anything that will give you some stamina.
What happens if that number goes down to 0?
Well, you will start to get tunnel vision the second you hit 0 hydration, and your stamina will go down at a higher rate also, which you definitely don't want. Once your character gets the dehydration symbol, you will start to take equal damage on all body parts until you get some hydration. If you don't find anything to drink or don't have enough healing to constantly heal yourself or extract, you're going to die. So when I'm in a raid and I find some type of item to bring my energy or hydration up, I just use it in raid just to top everything off so I don't have to worry about it. Or I'll bring something in. But as soon as you get some hydration, you'll stop taking damage. We sped this clip up for you, but normally it takes a lot longer for the damage to start.
So, how do you play?
With scav runs, you don't choose what you bring into a raid, so it's more of a money gain and a fuck it run. So we're going to start with the PMC.
What? So don't do scav runs?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying scav runs are to learn the map, try and get some kills, because it doesn't really matter if you die, because you can't do quests as a scav. When you go in as a scav, you go in at a random time in the raid, so either everyone could be alive or most things are dead and a lot of the loot is gone. With a PMC run, you know what gear you're bringing in and you're able to do your quests and tasks from traders. Plus, you start at the very beginning of a raid, or a couple seconds in.
Oh my god, so how do you win or whatever?
Well, whether you are a scav or a PMC, you will need to extract from the map, which I'm going to go over after a couple of these next topics, the first one being quests.
Wait a second. Quests? You could do quests too? How?
Yes, you will have some beginning quests to accept, but keep in mind, these can only be done as a PMC. What you do is you go up to these traders and accept these tasks. As you do these and turn them in, you will gain trader rep, money, and items, and more quests. What the trader rep does is, every level that you increase with that specific trader, they will sell you more items. The higher the level, the better things you can buy from them. Now, some quests are fun, and then you unlock this guy, Jaeger. Fuck him. His quests are stupid and absolutely ridiculous. He just...
Oh, you better not fuck with me, Penguinno.
I sense a little tension here.
No one likes him. Moving on. So, now that we have scav runs covered, it's time to dive into the PMC aspect of the game, which is the main point. Like I said earlier, when going into a raid, you need to outfit your character with some gear, which will include literally everything, including healing items. At the beginning, there's not a lot that you will have access to. You will see that you have some pistols, ammo, magazines, some energy and hydration, and some healing items. My suggestion is to sell these to the respective trader. So, disassemble the guns that you can, then go to skier for attachments, and with prepper or mechanic for all other weapon parts that a skier will not buy. This will give you more money than you started with, and really, those pistols aren't that good. Right after this, we will put together a kit that will bring you through a lot of the early levels of the game, with some adjustments later on.
But why sell the weapons you already have?
The weapons they give you at the beginning of the game, mostly pistols, are good for backups, but you need something as your main gun. Yes, they give you an AK-74U, but selling these items will give you more money to mess around with, and we're going to buy an SKS, which is the gun that you're going to be mainly using for the first half of the game, unless you find something off of someone or want to spend money on the flea market past level 5.
So I sold the pistols. Now I have no ammo or a weapon.
Relax, Tot. It'll be alright. I got you. Woo-sa. Oh, you're all too young for that. Anyway, so we're going to start with gear. At the beginning, you're not going to have a lot of options, but we can at least get something together for us to get started. First, we need a helmet. So we're going to go to Ragman and buy that SSH helmet, which is a level 3 with a high ricochet chance. This is a great budget helmet that will save your life occasionally from a one tap to the head, which will happen a lot in this game. Then we need to get some kind of armor. Off the bat, you don't really need to buy one because you can use the AVS chest rigs you were given as armor. And same goes for the backpack right now. You can take in that MBSS you were given. Also, you always want to cover your face with something because characters' faces really stick out. So go to Ragman and always wear one of these lava things, or pick up face coverings along your raids. We will be using the SKS from Prepper Level 1. It's a semi-automatic gun that with the right bullet will put out some serious damage. We also need some bullets. So we're going to purchase bullets of the same caliber, 7.62 by 39, and Prepper SPS rounds available for us, so let's get 30. Then we need to take the magazine out of our gun to put the bullets in it, then put the magazine back in the gun, equip it, put the bullets in your pocket or chest rig so that you can reload on the go. If you do not have something in your pockets or in your chest rig, your character will not be able to immediately use it. It needs to be in an area where someone could realistically grab it on the go. So, in your pockets or in your chest rig. If it's in your backpack, it won't work.
How do we know what kind of bullets we should be using?
So for bullets, this is where it gets a little tricky, but I'll help. So, when looking at the chart, you obviously want to find the caliber of the gun that you are looking for. In this case, 7.62 by 39. Then, we really want to look at the first two numbers. Number 1 is damage, the second number, penetration. These bullets are in order from the best to worst in each caliber, so it makes it a little bit easier. Here, we see that BP bullets have the best chance to penetrate armor and kill the other player. This is represented by the colored bars. You want these in green as high up in the armor class as you have access to or can afford. Right now, we don't have access to BP rounds through our traders, so PS rounds will have to do. But they are the second best choice, so this is why we bought them from Prepper.
What do the damage and penetration numbers mean?
Well, I don't want to go too much into detail, but the damage number is what damage the bullet will do if it hits a body part that's not covered by armor. The penetration value is the chance that bullet has to penetrate said armor. So this is why the colored bars are important. If your bullet hits armor and does not penetrate, it will just reduce the durability of said armor. If it does penetrate, the value of the damage that will be dealt to the player will be the damage for the bullet. Ideally, you want a bullet that will do around 40 penetration and 35 damage, which you will need to find these bullets or wait until you have other options to purchase because you are such a low level right now.
That's not too hard to understand. Come on.
We will definitely go over this more in detail later, just not today. But this chart, which was made by No Food After Midnight, will definitely help you any day you play Tarkov.
What is that container thing under your backpack? Why do you have stuff in there?
I was just about to get to that. Thank you, Tot. So that container is your safe haven. Whatever is allowed to go into that, there are some exceptions, will stay there even if you die. This case is where you put the most valuable loot items so that even if you die, you can still make a profit and some of your money back. So what I do and what I suggest in the beginning would be to put some pain management and some healing in there so that if you die, you at least get to keep that and don't have to buy it every time. Also, you want to keep some healing in your pockets or chest rig.
Oh, I got an idea. Couldn't you just run around with nothing and put stuff in there and then just die and keep it? I mean, come on, that's soft.
Why, yes. Yes, you can. That's what everyone calls a f***ing bitch-ass hatchet runner. What they will do is they will go into a raid with just their hatchet and their container empty. Then they run to the high tier loot spawns, shove whatever they can find into their container, and then die. That way they get to keep everything that was a high tier item. No one likes them because they are a waste of a spot in the game where someone could be going in normally geared and give you an exciting engagement. First, you need to know one of the most important things in this game, healing. Because if you don't know how to heal, you will never survive. There are a lot of healing items in this game that you can either buy or find. The main healing items that you want to keep a lookout for are AI2s or cheese slices. They take up one slot and they heal a damaged part of the body up to 50 health points per use, with a max healing of 100 points. Car First Aid Kit takes up 2 inventory slots and will heal an unblackened part of the body up to 70 health points per use for a max of 220. Keep in mind this will also stop blood loss for 40 points away from it. IFAC takes up 1 inventory slot and will heal an unblackened limb for 50 health points for a max of 300. This will also stop blood loss at a cost of 50 points. Salua First Aid Kit takes up 2 inventory slots and will heal an unblackened body part up to 85 points with a max of 400. Saluas will also stop blood loss for a cost of 30 points.
Man, that's a lot of healing. What do you mean when you say blackened limb? That sounds painfully important.
It is important. You get a blackened limb when all health points leave a certain area, like an arm, a leg, a head, a thorax, etc. You will experience different side effects from no longer having health in that limb. If it's your arm that is blacked, your aim will be less steady and you have a longer time to ADS and such. And the same goes for legs. The longer it's blackened, the more and more you will limp. Also, if you run, every couple steps, he'll yelp like a puppy.
Oh my god, so what do we do?
Just like with health, we have items to help with blackened limbs. These will not be able to be bought until you reach level 5 for the flea market, or you have Jaeger at the specified level. Fuck that guy. But you can always find these on people or in medical bags along the map. CMS Kit takes up 2 inventory slots and will restore a blackened limb to 1 health point except a thorax or a head, which you will then be able to heal with a healing item to 40 to 60% of its original limb health. Serve 12 Field Surgical Kit takes up 3 inventory slots and will restore a blackened limb to 1 health point except thorax or head, which you will then be able to heal with a healing item back up to 80 to 90% of original limb health. And last but not least, we have splints. There are 2 types of splints that do the same thing. The normal splint, which will heal a fractured limb that takes up 1 slot and has 1 use. Then we have the aluminum splint, which will heal a fractured limb up to 5 times and will take up 1 slot. You might have a situation where you jump from somewhere high and you fracture a leg, but you don't blacken it. So you just need to use a splint or a Serve 12 to stop the fracture.
Now that's a lot of healing.
I agree, and we still aren't done. There are still so many types of injectors that I'm not going to go over today, because you probably won't find many of these unless you play labs, or you find them on somebody, which you probably won't. But we do have some painkiller items that are important and vital to the game in my opinion. I'm going to go over the most important one for when you start Tarkov. Painkillers can be bought from therapists, and they take up 1 inventory slot with a max of 4 uses and a duration of 175 seconds. When a painkiller is used, it will ignore pain, which will cause your vision to darken. It will also sharpen your screen and ignore fractures. This will let you run and walk on the fractured limb as if nothing was wrong, and it will mitigate some of the negative effects if it was your arm, let's say.
So that's it for healing, right? I don't need any other ways to learn to heal myself.
Well, like I said, there are some other painkillers and injectors, but we'll go over those another day. These are the items that you're going to be using or finding at the beginning to help you get through your raids.
Okay, I get healing, I get the quest. Can we just get to the playing part?
Okay. And here we go. So we go to our character screen, we see that we have everything we need. It's time to go to Escape from Tarkov, click on my PMC, now we choose the map, which I would say customs. Now you need to pick a time. It's based on military time, so you want to pick one that will be during the day. Click next until you get to insurance. With insurance, you pay a fraction of what the item costs, and if you die or drop the item and another player can't grab it and extract, whoever you insured with will send a group out to bring your stuff back and it will show up in your messenger. Click ready and boom, we're in. Well, it doesn't normally go that fast. It normally takes about 2 to 5 minutes.
But there's no map, no HUD, no anything. What do I do?
First, we want to double-click O to find out where our extraction points are. These are places that we can leave from. If the extract has a question mark next to it, that means it could be a way out or not. Or it's on a time release and will open up at a specific time. Now you get to do whatever you want. Since for this run we have a pretty good armored chest rig and decent bullets, we're going to head towards the hotspot, dorms. A quick Google search of Escape from Tarkov customs map will bring you to the wiki, which will have many maps and information on customs. Now look around you and take note of the terrain and buildings you see. This run, we got a really good spawn for dorms, so we're going straight for there. But normally along the way, you look for jackets, boxes, crates, anything that you can loot.
But how do we know where to extract from like you said earlier?
Well, at any point in the game, you can click O to show you how much time is in the raid, aka when you need to get the fuck out of there. And double-clicking O at any point in the game will show you your extraction points. When I first started, I always had a map open on my phone or a second monitor as I learned. Just don't stare at it, actually learn the map too. Just use it as a reference and for extractions.
So, I mean, what happens if you die? That'll happen to me, but yeah, what happens?
So, because this game is very realistic, if you did not insure your things and you die, you will not get any of those items back. But if you're able to get a few kills on either a scav or a PMC and extract, you, my friend, have just made a profit. In Tarkov, you can go from walking around without hearing a single bullet for 10 minutes to you are now being ambushed by a team and bullets are flying everywhere. They do an amazing job at capturing the fear of the player on how to control the flow of the raid.
Okay, I got a couple of kills. My backpack is full of loot. I hobbled my way to the extraction. What do I do?
Well, once you're in the correct spot, a countdown timer will start and then you will be transported out of raid. This is where you go through the loot that you acquired, figure out the items that you want to sell, the items you want to keep, and then do it all over again.
Definitely challenging, and I'm guessing rage-inducing.
Well, when you have a couple bad raids, yeah, it can be a little rage-inducing. But it's normally because of a mistake that you made, and you can really improve as you play more and more. Plus, when you make it out of a raid with some thick loot, all the losses seem worth it. Well, that's all the time we have for today, class. I know some stuff was brushed over, but there's just so much that goes into this game, and I don't want to keep you here all day. So there will definitely be another part to this, maybe 2. They will go more in depth into the intricacies of the game. If you ever have any questions, come on over to my personal channel when I'm streaming and I would love to chat and answer all of them. Escape from Tarkov has a lot to it, and once you get into it, you might get stuck and no other game will do it for you. I warned you. And like always, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and leave some feedback or some chat down in the comments. Until next time, it's your favorite professor, Penguinno!